So I am now recording. Okay, so this evening we are talking about neighbour letters, my favourite subject. I'm not going to go massively into detail with mindset, because I know that mindset does play a big part in neighbour letters. I'm not going to go into that too much because we do a call on Sunday night as part of the normal training calls that we do, which is very much about the sort of neighbour letter mindset and objections and things like that. These calls really are about introducing these ways of gathering customers to the team. So this is going to be quite a practical how-to really, rather than anything else. But obviously, if you do have any questions around just getting over yourself and getting out there and getting it done, then those are the sort of conversations that we can have independently if you want to. Okay, so neighbour letters. This is a very tried and tested way of gathering customers. There's a high gathering rate of customers from the time that you actually put into neighbour letters. As I understand it, I don't do neighbour letters as much as I do winner minis, but as I understand it, that actually the rate of gathering customers per kind of hour you spend working is higher with neighbour letters than anything else. But also you get quite a low cancellation rate in terms of the actual appointments as well. So from those two perspectives, it can be a really, really good way of gathering customers. The other two major benefits of neighbour letters over anything else is that you are in complete control of where your appointments are happening and where your customers are. So if there's any reason why, some people in the team don't drive, some people don't like driving too far, some people, very restricted time-wise, for example. So for those reasons, neighbour letters can be brilliant because you decide where you want your appointments to be, and you can also fit the actual work that you need to do to get those appointments around anything else. I mean, I know there's people in the team that literally pop out and do 15 minutes at a time of neighbour letter follow-up in order to get those appointments in the diary as and when they want to. And I suppose the last thing to say about neighbour letters as well is that it is, I think it's the one thing really that you can do if you are trying to qualify for an incentive, or you suddenly realise we could be this day in the month and you don't have enough points for the holiday and you're about to drop out. You could literally go and do neighbour letters today and have appointments in the diary tomorrow. So as far as I'm concerned, it's probably the quickest route to an appointment if that's what you need and you need to do it quickly. So those are all the reasons why they're absolutely brilliant. And now we're just going to talk about exactly how you do it. So the company has already has had written and approved a set of neighbour letters that are available for us to use. You aren't able to just write a letter on behalf of Utility Warehouse and go and post it through your neighbour's doors. It has to be one of the approved letters that you will find on the portal. Now, there's various schools of thought as to which ones work better, but most people tend to say it actually doesn't matter which one you use, it's just the fact that you do it and that you follow it up. Having said that, I do have a preference, and there's a couple of reasons why. So we're going to talk this evening about the one that I prefer. I will read it out to you because I have it here, although I will actually post it to anybody that wants it afterwards. Just message me and I'll send it to you. But this is a very, very simple letter. We call it the unbranded letter because it's the only one of the set that doesn't have the Utility Warehouse logo on it. It simply says, "Dear neighbour, my name is Alex Roberts. I live locally and I'm helping people reduce their energy costs through a discount club. It's free to join and most people in our area save up to £300 a year. I'll pop back soon to see if you'd like to know more. Best wishes, Alex Roberts." Okay, so the simplest of simple letters. People are going to read it. They're going to get to the end of it. It's positive. It doesn't go into detail as to who the company is, which for me is important because I don't really want people Googling me and my business before I turn up on their doorstep. I want to be the one that pitches it to them. So that's why I prefer this letter. I was also going to say something else about that, but I can't remember what I was going to say anyway. So it's a really simple process. You print off that letter and you put it in an envelope. And again, one of my top tips is to put it in an envelope to mark from your neighbour. You imagine if you get a letter put through your door that's handwritten on the front of it from your neighbour, you're either going to assume someone's having a bonfire or a barbecue and they're going to invite you to it, or you've done something to upset them. So for whatever reason, you're going to open that letter because you're going to want to know what's inside, right? So when you open that letter, when you put that through somebody's door, and you then go and follow it up, and one of the questions you ask is, have you seen the letter? The chances are they're always going to tell you that they have read the letter. And I think it's really important that they've got a rough idea of what you're talking about in order that you can pitch it in a way that makes sense to them on the doorstep. So that's why that's my preferred letter. Now, again, various schools of thought as to when you drop letters and when you follow it up. But again, I would say that as long as you're dropping letters and following them up, it actually doesn't matter what time of day you do it. You do it when it suits you. So the important thing to say is, though, again, from a legal perspective, we cannot cold call on somebody's doorstep. So we cannot knock on their door and post a letter at the same time and expect to have a conversation with them. We must drop the letter first and then follow it up at a separate time if we're actually knocking on the door. So just make sure that's clear. Please don't do it without having dropped the letter beforehand. So you're going to drop the letters, and you might do maybe, again, it's totally down to you and what fits your lifestyle, whether you drop 10 letters, 20 letters, 50 letters in one go. I would say ideally you want to try and follow them up about a day to 2 days later. But of course, if people aren't in, you're going to keep following up the same ones over and over again. So you might find that you speak to somebody 2 weeks after you originally dropped the letter, or even longer than that, and that's absolutely fine. But I would just say, don't go and drop 100 letters thinking, well, it's a couple of weeks before I'll have a chance to follow it up. So just sort of have a think about what your schedule is in terms of moving forward and actually being able to follow up. So on to the follow-up then. So some people like to do it on their own. Some people like to do it in pairs. I think that doing it in pairs is a really good idea when you first start, because it can be a bit nerve-wracking. You are knocking on people's doors, and it's nice to just have that camaraderie with you, whether they actually go up to the doorstep with you and you knock, or whether they're just standing on the street waiting for you to finish that door. Whatever works for you best. It's just quite nice usually to have that company. But that said, you'll probably get to the point where you're just like, right, I just want to go and do this now. I don't want to wait for somebody else to be available. So either way works. It's just whatever you're most comfortable with. So you're knocking on someone's door, and the script, again, I'll post a written version of this script, but we've also got a recorded version of this script that you can have a look at as well. And again, it's very, very simple. And the idea is that you stick to the script. You shouldn't really need to go around this subject at all when you're actually on the doorstep, because you want to save that for when you're pitching it to people, with the presentation. That's obviously ideally what we always want to do. So script-wise, and I do know this off by heart, I'm going to read it just to make sure I get it absolutely right, because I know this is being recorded. So, hi, I'm Alex. I've just knocked on the door. They've opened the door. I'm going to smile at them, obviously, and I'm going to be really approachable and nice and friendly. I popped this letter through your door a couple of days ago. Have you seen it? Great. Well, I've been helping all our neighbours save loads of money on all their utility bills. Would saving money benefit you? Fantastic. All I'm doing today is booking short appointment slots to show you the savings. What's best for you, daytimes, evenings, or weekends? Okay, so that is your simple script. You don't need to go outside of that. It's very, very easy to learn. Obviously, you can tweak it slightly to suit your personality if you want to, but it's nice and easy. Now, again, there are other, if you have a look on the Neighbour Letter forum on Facebook, there's a Utility Warehouse Neighbour Letter forum. Look on there, you'll find there are other letters and other scripts that people are using to follow up. So you might like to try those, and you're absolutely fine to do so. But I would say that the two people who are most successful in neighbour letters in this business are using this letter and this script. So that kind of says to me that that's the one really that I want to be using. Now, for me, the interesting thing about this particular script, and I'm actually going to call on the help of my friend Kerry here. So I'm just going to unmute you, Kerry. Now, if I can unmute you. Oh, there we go. Hi, Kerry.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, now, just to point out, we haven't rehearsed this, so this could go horribly wrong, but I just think it's interesting to show you what I think is the biggest mistake people make with neighbour letter follow-ups. Okay, so I'm just going to run that script again, and I'm just asking as though she was actually the person that I'm knocking on the door of, okay? And hopefully, the first time it's going to go really wrong, and the second time I'm going to show you the right way to do it. Okay, so let's give this a go. So, I'm just knocked on your door. Oh, hi there. My name's Alex. I popped this letter through your door the other day. Did you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so this has gone wrong already.
Did I see the letter?
Yes, but you're not interested.
Oh, but I'm not interested. Yes, sorry, apologies. Yes, but I'm not interested.
I've just knocked on your door. Oh, hi there, my name's Alex. I just popped this letter through your door the other day. Did you see it?
Yeah, but I'm not really interested.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I'm just saving people money, and I just wondered if saving money would benefit you.
Not really, no.
Oh, right, okay. See, now there's nowhere I can go with that. So let's try that again. If you could just say the same thing both times. So yes, but I'm not interested. That would be
Yeah.
great. Right, okay, so we can do it again, and hopefully this will be better this time. So, hi there, my name's Alex. I just popped this letter through your door the other day. Did you see it?
Yeah, but I'm not interested.
Right. So basically, I'm saving our neighbours loads of money on their utility bills. Would saving money benefit you?
Not really, no.
Okay, so the reason it didn't quite go right was I was hoping that you would say yes. But the point being that if somebody, what people usually say is yes, they've seen the letter, but they're not interested in saving. Then you ask them, would saving money benefit you? Most people say yes to that answer. So you say yes, saving money would benefit me, but I'm not interested in switching. There's usually a yes, but then there's a but. So what I was trying to demonstrate there, which didn't really go terribly well, I'm sorry, was basically just that if you cut in straight after they say yes, you don't give them the opportunity to say the but section. So it's a bit like, I popped this letter through your door the other day. Did you see it? Yes. As they start to say, but I'm not interested, you cut in with, great, that's fantastic. All I'm doing is saving our neighbours loads of money on their bills, etc. Would saving money benefit you? Then they tend to say, well, yes, and then they started to go into the but you cut in straight away before they have an opportunity to say anything. So if you watch the video that Hannah and I recorded, because we did actually rehearse that,
Sorry.
No, it's my fault because we didn't really talk about it beforehand. But basically, if you watch that video, you will see that we've actually done it like that. So Hannah starts to say that she's not interested, but I cut in so quickly that she doesn't have the opportunity to say. The problem being, and what I was trying to demonstrate, is that if you allow people to say what they naturally want to say, people naturally just want to say that they're not interested in whatever you're selling. They don't even know what it is, but they just think they probably won't be interested. So they just want to cut the conversation down. So if you allow them the space to do that, then they're always going to do that. And where do you go from there? You can't ask them for an appointment if they've already said, no, they're not interested. But if what they've said is, if you haven't actually let them say that bit, then you can still get to the end of the sentence, which is basically that you want to get an appointment with them. And by the time you get to that bit, the question is then not a yes or no answer. It's when suits you best, daytimes, evenings, or weekends. So again, like we talked about with the Win a Mini slot, Win a Mini call that we did, you're not actually asking someone, are you interested in saving money? You're not asking them, are you interested in having an appointment with me? You're asking them, when suits you best, evenings, weekends, or daytimes. So I think that's just the interesting thing there, that quite often people say, I've done some neighbour letters and it hasn't worked for me. And I say, well, what happens when you get to the bit about saying, that you want an appointment, etc. You say, well, I'd never really get to that point, because they all just say they're not interested in saving money, or they say they're not interested, they haven't seen the letter, or they're not interested in switching, etc. If you're getting that response, you just haven't been quick enough cutting in, is what I think. And as I say, that have a watch of that video, because that is, it does kind of spell it out on there. So then obviously from there on, it is basically exactly the same as just any other appointment. You're going to the appointment, it's nice and local. You have, you have the opportunity to follow them up as and when you like. I would suggest you keep going back because you'll get a lot of people who just don't answer the door at all. So you can go back to them as many times as you like till you get an answer. You might like to kind of switch it up a bit. If you're going during the day and they're never there during the day, then perhaps they have a day job. So perhaps going back in the evening would be a good idea. I believe legally you can't knock on a door after 8 p.m. So obviously do it before then. You might find that you're comfortable doing it up till 7:30 or whatever. I quite often think it's a good idea to follow up at the time that you'd like the appointments to be. So I tend to do my follow-ups during the day because I want my appointments during the day. So if somebody's in when I knock on the door, the chances are that's going to be a good time for them to see me. But as I say, switch it up a little bit. I think probably in terms of the actual how-tos, that's actually it, because it's a little less complicated than actually having to book winner mini slots and all that sort of stuff, because it's all just down to you. So because we do have a few minutes left on the call, there's a few people that I can't actually see because you haven't got your video on, but has anybody got a question? Do you want to wave at me if there's anything you want me to cover or answer that I haven't? Or shake your head. Oh, Katie's got something. Okay, 2 seconds. You should be unmuted, Katie, go for it.
Okay, so I do actually get an awful lot of cancellations from neighbour letters. So a lot more than I do with WAMs or anything else. So do you qualify the appointment in a specific way?
Again, it's totally down to the individual and what they prefer to do. Personally, no, I don't. And with neighbour letters, I don't give them my number, so they aren't actually able to cancel it. The only way that they could cancel it is by simply not being there on the day. So I'm trying to, where possible, I'm booking the appointments very quickly. So if I'm following up today, I'm looking to go back tomorrow, the next day, etc., for the appointment. So there's not an awful lot of time between following up and the appointment actually happening. And again, if you follow up at the time that you want the appointments, I think that's probably a higher likelihood. And then I don't give them my number. I don't have their number. I can't cancel it. They can't cancel it. Actually, no, that's actually untrue. I do take their number just in case I need to speak to them at all, but I don't intend to cancel it, and they won't be cancelling it with me because they don't have my details, and I won't be following up.
Yeah, no, my number's on the letter, so I'm a bit stuck.
Well, your number's on the letter, but I've never had anybody ring me. I don't think they even think about that. Or just don't put your number on the letter. I mean, it's totally up to you. But I think probably mitigating that by making sure that the appointment is very soon after that you've not. Yeah, there's no real reason why they would. I mean, I can't speak individually, but statistically, there are fewer cancellations from neighbour letters than there are from winner minis. So if you're not getting that, then the only thing that I can say is that it is a numbers game, and you have got to just keep doing it. But overall, I don't think you can do anything majorly differently that's going to mean that you're going to buck the trend with the statistics. So it's probably just that you've had a bad run. I don't know whether maybe you want to consider the area that you're doing it in. If you're getting a lot of cancellations in a particular area, is it a particular type of, I don't know, housing estate or something, where maybe moving to a slightly different area you might get different results, perhaps? Or time of day, is it the wrong time of day? Are you following up at a time when everyone's eating tea or everyone's rushing out the door to get children, and they're just saying yes to an appointment without really thinking about it? I don't know whether there's any of those sorts of things could maybe come into play, but maybe just try and switch it up a little bit and just do things slightly differently, in terms of don't change the script, don't change what you're doing, but just have a think about some of the other things that you can't control. Is there anything there that you can change?
Cool, thank you.
Anybody else want me to cover anything? I noticed, Robbia, you put your video on for a second when I asked for questions. Was that because you had a question?
Hi, hello. Yes, I did, and then I thought it's silly, I'll ask you later.
No.
I was just thinking I live in a block of flats, so
go for it.
When you so normally when you drop letters into someone's house, they're going to receive that letter pretty much straight away as soon as they get home or when they check.
Yeah.
In flats, we've got our boxes outside.
Right.
And I know personally that I don't check my box daily. I might check it once a week, and again, it's not a specific day of the week either.
Anymore today, that's the thing.
So when would you say is a good time to go back and follow up that letter?
Okay, so in general with houses, I would say,
if I go to somebody's flat and knock on their door.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say in general with
houses, so if I was to go on someone's door,
I don't think it's a problem, because obviously you don't have that issue. But having said that, you do go to houses where they haven't actually read it because the husband could answer the door and it was actually the wife that picked it up and she didn't mention anything to the husband. So I'm not saying every single time you follow up someone has read the letter. Personally, I would follow up as and when it's appropriate for you. If they haven't read the letter, then you can just explain a little bit about it. But to be honest, that script kind of does it all for you anyway. So even if they haven't seen the letter, to be honest, the only reason that we put the letter before knocking is because legally we have to, so that we're not cold calling. Otherwise you just go and just do this script straight off without even dropping a letter. So the letter itself isn't actually the issue. Isn't actually part of it. It's being you say that you drop the letter so that it's obvious that you're not cold calling, but it doesn't actually matter whether they've read the letter or not because you still do exactly the same script. There's nothing really, the letter simply says we're saving people money on their utility bills, which is what the script says as well. So it's really just alluding to the fact that you're following up on a letter. You said you would follow up and you're following up on a letter. And you'll probably find that, there may be a few people like you that only check it once a week, but then there'll be other people living in flats that check it twice a day, just because people are people and everybody's different. So I personally wouldn't let that worry you. Because flats are great because you can literally just knock on everybody's door just by pressing each individual buzzer, and there could be 10 flats and you might get like 2 or 3 appointments just from standing on one doorstep. So there's certainly bonuses and negatives to every situation, I would say. Does that help?
Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, cool. Right. Well, I think at 25 past, we're going to wrap this up unless there's any more burning questions. We do have, as I say, a skills call on this, which does deal a lot more with the ins and outs of what to do in certain situations. So look out for that if you're interested in trying neighbour letters. If you want to just give it a go, please talk to me, talk to anybody in your upline, your sponsor, etc. And depending on location, I'm more than happy to come out and do some neighbour lettering with you. I've done it with a few people in the team, so I'm very happy to do that. If location-wise it's not going to work, then yes, I see your thumb, Katie. If location-wise it's not going to work, then we can certainly help you buddy up with people in your area that you can go out and do it with as well. Okay, so I hope that's helped everybody. I hope that's given you a good introduction to how to get started with it. If you want that script or that neighbour letter sent to you individually, please pop me a message after the call. And come back to us and let us know results and how things are going for you, and if you need any support with it. Okay, and I will say good night and have a good rest of your evening. See you later.